勉強が大変なんだよ。
噂ではエスパーダ殿がバン様には通常の3倍の勉強をさせるように指示を出していると聞きます。
だからか。僕だけ朝から晩までしてるからおかしいと思ったんだ。
The vice commander got excited. Given the situation, he considered speaking to the butler, believing Van should follow the path of the sword. But Van liked both fencing and reading. However, no matter how you looked at it, the man wanted to mentor Van too.
優しく教えて
ね。もちろんですとも。バン様はまだまだ子供ですからな。
これは真っ赤な嘘だった。
冗談100、中段払い100、突き上げ100。
Although the training was tough, the maid's care allowed him to spend his days happily. He was ready to start a joyful life in the new world. That day, the hero, tired from studying, decided to go to the market. There was a branch of the largest merchant guild, Mary. Suddenly, a rude man dragged his son out like a slave for sale. Only then did Van learn that poor families sold children they couldn't feed. As soon as the voice died down, a woman from the merchant guild recognized the hero. The maid proudly declared that the hero was a prodigy from the famous Marquis family. The woman enthusiastically came out to greet him. He wanted to know how much the slave nearby could be sold for. The woman valued him at a maximum of 3 silver coins. Hearing this, the man flew into a rage, scolding his son for growing up to be useless trash. The hero then offered 5 silver coins, wishing to buy him. Seeing the money, the scumbag grabbed it and ran away. After asking around, the hero learned that the boy's name was Kamsin. The hero decided to grant Kamsin his freedom, but he had nowhere to go. So he invited him to come along. The guards reminded him that the Marquis would not agree to let a slave of dubious origin into the mansion unless he became the hero's personal slave. Kamsin, naturally, had no objections. The merchant woman reminded them that a contract had to be made first. With her help, the contract was concluded. As long as the contract is in force, the mark on the hand will exist forever. In the blink of an eye, Van turned 8, and he had to undergo a magical appraisal. People were eagerly awaiting this, hoping that Van would become the next lord. After all, only he, when interacting with commoners, never flaunted his nobility. Unfortunately, everything went wrong. Van not only failed to inherit his parents' talent, but he also had no talent for any offensive magic whatsoever. Instead, he awakened the most useless production magic. After all, it only requires materials to create items visualized in the mind using imagination, but these things can be made without magic, and it is impossible to protect subjects this way. The Marquis was very disappointed in Van, considering him a failure. Saying this, he wanted to kill Van. His older brother intervened just in time, stating that there was a remote village in their domain that they couldn't seem to develop. Why not send Van there? The Marquis remembered that this village was located in an inconvenient place, behind a mountain filled with monsters, bordering the hostile kingdom of Yeleneta.
なるほど。バン、貴様にはその村の領主を任せよう。準備ができ次第出ていけ。さすがだなムルシア。役立たずの使い道を見つけ出した。